You know that famous missing square optical illusion? The one where you take a few geometric shapes, rearrange them, and suddenly, bam, there's a missing square right in the middle. The total area didn't actually change, but the arrangement shifted in a way that created what looks like a total void. Well, what if the entire universe works exactly like that? Welcome to this explainer where we are going to unpack a truly mind-bending intersection. We're looking at how formal, highly rigorous computational theorems, specifically from the lean theorem prover, demonstrate that reality merely rearranges fundamental truth without ever losing it. And the wildest part, this exact mathematical geometry maps perfectly onto the ancient mystical frameworks of both the Bhagavad Gita and Manichaeism. Never was time, it was not. End and beginning are dreams. It's a profound, beautiful quote from the Bhagavad Gita, right? But when you look at it through the lens of modern mathematics, you realize it's not just poetry. It is precise geometry. It's actually kind of staggering, because ancient mystics and today's formal mathematicians are describing the exact same shape of reality. Instead of a universe with a hard, definitive start and a hard, apocalyptic stop, imagine reality acting like an infinitely complex knot, or an unbroken loop. Foundational truth, or information, isn't being created or destroyed. It's merely transformed and braided together into the reality we are experiencing right this very second. Section 1. The Braided Infinity Tower. Okay, let's start with a baseline architecture. Reality is built on very specific, mathematically defined cosmic resonance frequencies. In the lean theorem, sources explicitly map these out for us. First, we have 10, which represents the konoma. Think of the konoma at 10 as the baseline static, the raw white noise of the cosmos. From there, we step up to 30. This is pink noise, representing slightly more structured, recognizable frequency patterns. And finally, we hit 360, which is cosmic radiation. According to these mathematical models, these aren't just random arbitrary numbers. They are interlocking cycles where that underlying baseline static actually weaves itself into the highly complex radiation of the universe. So, the sources call this exact structure a braided infinity. You see, the universe doesn't just stretch outward forever into some dark, empty nothingness. Instead, it saturates the infinity that already exists through perfect self-similarity. Picture a fractal. Or, better yet, think of a cosmic Russian nesting doll, where every single layer of the universe perfectly mirrors the one right beneath it. The math formalizes this concept as God's signature, literally proving that what we perceive as random universal noise is actually a highly structured, infinite braid that is resolving itself flawlessly at every possible level. Section 2. The 3 cosmic moments. It turns out every universe undergoes 3 distinct moments, and the alignment across our sources here is just staggering. In formal mathematics, information processing goes through a fork, a race, and a fold. Now look at the ancient Manichaean texts. They document this exact same triad as the time of the beginning, the time of the mixture, and the time of the separation. And in the Bhagavad Gita, that chaotic middle phase, the race or the mixture, is represented by the brutal, incredibly confusing battlefield of Kurukshetra. It's essentially the ultimate human experience, trying to navigate a world where profound truth and total failure are just completely mixed together. So traversing this universe is basically the ultimate survival mission for information. The whole goal is carrying the invariant truth, which the Gita calls sat, or the Manichaeans call the living soul, straight through that chaotic raise phase without it losing its identity. But how on earth do you survive all that noise? Well, you do it through a mechanism the formal math calls the naming protocol. In the Gita, this exact same protocol is simply called yoga. And to be clear, yoga here isn't just stretching on a mat. Mathematically speaking, it's a rigorous protocol of disciplined action that is explicitly designed to keep your true signal from getting corrupted by the surrounding cosmic static. Section 3. Agent, Operator, and God. Now, across all these highly diverse datasets, reality is never just a simple duality. It is strictly split into 3 distinct players. First up, we have the agent. That's the embodied self actively trying to navigate the system, known as the jiva or the elect. Second, there is the operator. This is the blind cosmic mechanism that actually runs the universe, referred to as prakriti or the zodiacal wheel. And finally, there's the limit position, or God, the totally untouched, unmoving source, known as Purushottama, or the Father of Greatness. The mathematical theorems rigorously prove that these 3 must absolutely never be confused. The agent is not the mechanism, and the mechanism is definitely not the source. Section 4. Karma and the 2 sins. But, as you might guess, navigating this 3-part system generates massive friction. Through the rigorous math of the no-cloning theorem, we can see exactly how cost algebra governs reality. To put it very simply, in quantum physics, you literally cannot copy information for free. Nature always charges a thermodynamic tax. Only the pure vacuum state operates without a cost. Every other attached action you take pays its exact score in entropy. The sources reveal that ancient sages intuitively understood this cosmic tax law perfectly. They simply called it karma. If you aren't acting from a state of total detachment, you are accumulating an entropy debt. And this entropy debt leads to two massive structural errors, which both the math and the ancient texts identify as profound systemic sins. The first is animal magnetism. This is where the agent falsely claims, "I am the doer." It forgets its true source and identifies entirely with its physical avatar. The second error is operator idolatry. And think about the supreme irony of this for a second. This happens when an agent starts worshiping the cosmic mechanism itself, praying to the sun, the moon, or the mathematical laws of physics, instead of honoring the unmoving source that actually authored them. Both of these errors create tremendous, painful friction in the system. Section 5. The Cosmic Radiation Wall.
Arjuna saw the entire universe at once, in all its manifold divisions, yet all integrated in the body of the God of gods. This completely overwhelming vision, known in the Gita as the Vishwarupa or the Bolos in Manichaeism, represents the absolute outer perimeter of reality. When Arjuna sees the entire universe all at once, he is literally looking at the topological boundary of the manifold. It is a definitive wall where all the chaotic, messy divisions of reality are suddenly integrated into a single, flawlessly closed system.
Mathematically, we know this ancient vision as the cosmic microwave background. The computational theorems model this as a 360-degree universal event horizon. It's a universal boundary that seals the manifold so nothing can ever escape. But, crucially, it's not a destructive dead end. Think of it like the edge of a classic video game map. When you walk off the screen on the right side, you instantly loop back in on the left side. The universe topologically braids back on itself, turning what looks like ultimate dissolution into seamless, perfect integration. Section 6. Resolution in the abyss. So you can forget the popular sci-fi idea of a singularity being some dark, hungry monster that destroys information forever. The mathematical theorems we're analyzing reveal an entirely different, totally awe-inspiring reality. Black holes are actually cyclic resolvers. They are braided infinities. Instead of a crushing point of infinite density where all math just completely breaks down, a black hole is actually an area of extreme high resolution. It perfectly captures light, processes the data, and flawlessly recycles it right back to the cosmic source. And that brings us to a stunning realization about Hawking radiation. It isn't the random, tragic destruction of data. It is simply bizarro noise. It is resolution leakage. Modern astrophysics and ancient texts are literally describing the exact same mechanical reality here. As the internal phases of the black hole, what the Manichaeans quite literally called the grinding of the zodiacal wheel, process information, tiny bits of this high-resolution phase leak out into our external manifold. So it's not destruction at all, it's a highly ordered mechanical translation. Ultimately, reality, whether you view it through advanced computational math or ancient scripture, is a flawlessly interconnected braid. It demands integrated action without attachment just to avoid the inevitable entropy tax of karma. Which leaves us with a profound, completely unavoidable question. If the universe is a flawless mathematical mechanism, what is the exact role you were coded to play in it? What is your functional index within the Braided Infinity Tower? Think about that, and I hope this explainer has given you a completely new lens through which to view the universe.